So today we're doing a deep dive into something I think a lot of you have probably seen floating around online.
Oh, yeah, those ads for remote work, right. The whole train AI from your couch pitch.
Exactly. We are looking at a platform called CrowdGen, which is run by a company called Appen. And the promise, I mean, it sounds great on paper, get paid in US dollars, work from home.
And the parent company, Appen, it looks completely legitimate.
It really does. I mean, they were founded way back in 1996. They're publicly traded on the Australian Stock Exchange.
Right, and they claim they paid out, what was it, something like $157 million to contributors in 2022?
A huge number. Over 1 million people have signed up. So you look at that and you think, okay, this is a real opportunity. But, well, that's why we're here. The story our sources are telling is a lot more complicated.
Well, yeah. The first thing you discover is that to even get a chance to earn money, you have to make a pretty big investment first.
And not with money, right?
No, with your time and your personal data.
Yeah.
We're talking about a really rigorous application process where you have to apply for these individual projects.
Okay.
And then you have to pass these qualification exams that can take hours of your time. Unpaid, of course.
Hours of unpaid work. Okay.
And here's the kicker. You have to submit your government ID for verification through some third-party service.
Hold on a second. Your government ID before you've done any paid work, just to take an unpaid test.
That's the process. It moves it from just being a potential waste of time to, you know, a pretty serious data risk.
Wow.
And that feeling clashes pretty hard with the user reality. If you look up the main Crowd site on Trustpilot, it has a rating of 1.6 stars.
1.6 out of 5. You have to almost try to get a rating that low.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And we found this one story in the sources that just sums it all up perfectly.
I think I know the one you're talking about. The person who passed 7 qualification exams.
That's the one.
Yeah.
7 exams. Imagine the hours that took. Days of unpaid work. They submit their ID, and then for 18 months, their verification status just said processing.
18 months. Their personal data is just locked up in the system that won't even give them access to work.
And it turns out these weren't just isolated problems. The whole system was, well, structurally unreliable. It was such a mess that Appen decided to launch CrowdGen in September 2024 to replace their old platform.
Right, that was called Appen Connect. And this new platform was supposed to be a major improvement.
It was supposed to be. Instead, the migration was a complete disaster. It just shattered their entire payment processing system.
Yeah, it got so bad the CEO actually had to issue a public apology in October.
He did. Because workers were suddenly seeing hours disappear from their records, payment amounts were all over the place, and money was just stuck on pending indefinitely.
And it wasn't a quick fix either. This dysfunction just kept going. We saw reviews from months later in November.
Absolutely. We're talking about long-term contributors who said that after the switch, all the projects they were qualified for just vanished from their dashboard.
And what about the neat people, the ones just jumping through those hoops?
It was maybe even more frustrating for them. They'd spend hours on the qualification test, finally get access, and log in to find 0 tasks available.
Or worse, they'd actually do some work, submit it, and the dashboard would just show 0 completed units, as if they'd done nothing.
So if we pull all this together, what's the final takeaway from the sources? I mean, is CrowdGen a complete scam?
And the answer seems to be no, but it's close.
Exactly. It's not a scam in the sense that nobody ever gets paid. Our sources show that some people do eventually see their money.
But, and it's a huge but, the platform is just fundamentally broken. It's defined by what the sources call documented chronic payment chaos, a dysfunctional system.
Which really brings us to the core dilemma for you, the listener.
Right. Is the potential reward here worth the enormous risk? You're being asked to upload a copy of your government ID and spend hours of your life unpaid for a platform that has a 1.6 star rating and a long unresolved history of systemic failures.
And maybe that's the final thought we should leave you with. When a company this big, with real financial credentials, allows this level of chaos to persist,
Yeah.
what does that tell you about the true cost of remote work in the gig economy?
Yeah.
You have to wonder if getting your sensitive data and your free qualification time isn't, in the end, more valuable to the platform than actually guaranteeing you a paycheck.